was like biblical kind of. Like I really fucked with the storyline of it, and I got into it, and then that's what made me start drawing these pieces. So, got two of the the Darths or whatever on there, and start collecting like the helmets and shit. When I start collecting, I kind of start wilding a little bit. Like all them Transformers, them Jones came in like 2 years. It wasn't like I was collecting them forever.
Take me back to this one for just a second. Mm-hmm. This is Soundwave?
Yeah.
Okay. What year did Soundwave come out?
I should be 1984.
Okay, and you got the accessories, the tapes were always animals?
Yeah. Well, nah. There's two niggas that was inside of them named Rumble and Frenzy too that used to come out. So when you go back over here, that's these two little drones right here.
Okay. I mean, was that the actual model you used to draw this?
Yeah, actually, bro. But if you look at it, everything different.
Yeah.
So you look at the aesthetic of the legs. I changed it, made the legs more like human legs. Like if you look at all the details, I changed. I take liberty to do what I want. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to just copy something. I want to make it.
Take me back to this Cuban Links influence right here. So inside his chest is none other than Raekwon's classic album, Only Built for Cuban Links. What made you go there?
I'm just, like I said, I'm a Wu-Tang fan. You know what I'm saying? I grew up off the hip-hop shit, Mobb Deep in like 94, 95, got me heavy in the rap. Then I would hear like Ghost and Ray when they joined. And then from hearing Ghost and Ray on there, then I wanted to hear more, Wu shit.
Yeah.
And I got into that. And to be honest, the Wu-Tang shit was like comic book shit. The shit all really went hand in hand. Them niggas was talking about kung fu and ninjas and all of that. And I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't a street kid, so the street part I didn't give a fuck about. I gave a fuck about the imaginary part. You know what I mean?
So take me to the Black Panther, please.
So the Black Panther John, honestly,
let's walk over there.
Yeah. It was just drawn out of necessity. I mean, kind of. Like I fuck with the character and all of that. But and as a business person, so before COVID and all of that, I will always be at the Comic-Cons, the different Comic-Cons that they would have, whether it was New York Comic-Con, the Jones in Philly, all of that type of shit. And I would sell my artwork and autograph pieces. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Yeah, so that's what I would do. So my same peoples that you see here, like Els and all my peoples, they will be working the registers and everything while I sign all the artwork and people be buying shit. So I come from that world. So anything that's hot in the market at the time, like when Black Panther drop, if a movie come out, you gotta do a piece to go along with the movie because that's what's popping at the moment. You know what I'm saying?
So before this podcast and all of this, the Devin Wade brand was already moving as a unit. You already.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I just got a lot of peoples out here. I'm from Camden, New Jersey. I've been a business owner here since 2004. You know what I mean? And I've been like without a job, just holding it down, working for myself since 2008. You know what I'm saying? So I've been designing independent comic books. People come to me if they want their character design, all that type of shit, inventions.
So how much does a piece like this?
So if a person want to get just a little regular piece like this, it is always going to be a print. I won't even give a person the original on paper. So if they want a regular piece like this that they're going to turn into a print, it's going to be $900. But I can also continue to print other ones afterwards. But what I do is I'll put something special inside of that one piece that only that person has. You know what I mean? I don't know what I would charge a person to have it be where they could be the only person that get it, because it wouldn't be worth it. I gotta make my money where I could sell these, you know what I mean, back to back. You feel what I'm saying? So,
Okay. Dad, you got a lot of talent, man. You got some incredible artwork in here.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
So, when did all of this come about?
Oh, so it's crazy. So, also I got a company. It's called the Party Nerds. Like I said, I'm a dude that's in the nerd culture. Nerd culture is anything that got to do with comic books, video games, all of that type of shit. And there's a whole market for that. When you go to Comic-Con, you'll see like the bad chicks dressed up in the comic books and everything. I mean, in the costumes and all of that. So what me and my peoples did, everybody was in nightlife. I was a party promoter at the clubs in Philly, you know what I'm saying? And then my peoples had clubs down in like AC and all of that. So we come to find out that none of us really give a fuck about the club shit really like that. We all really into this type of shit. But we make our money in the club. So that's where the party and nerds part come from. And we got a nice following if you check out Party Nerds IG with a Z. Okay. So what we did was we started throwing events where we would have all of the chicks come out and they be dressed sexy and all that, but they might have like the Steve Urkel broken glasses and everything like that, or be body painted or whatever. And that's how that whole venture popped off. So then after that, we ended up doing a podcast, and that's how I got into the podcasting. We started doing that. We have like, our shit was live, so we have like 20,000 listeners all over the world, just in there listening to whatever we was talking about. And that was the introduction for me to the podcasting thing. And then I was like, oh, right now I'm paying somebody to record my podcast. I'm like, I own a facility. I might as well create my own podcast rooms and shit like that. So I just started building. You know, that's how I was able to set up my situation.
So that situation that you speak of, creating for self, is that what gave birth to your relationship with Gully the Kid?
So no, my relationship with them started off more on like, so I'm a photographer.
Okay.
And I always I became a photographer because, you know, not on no corny shit. I was just a nigga that was running around with a lot of bitches. Like, that's what I did. So I figured out, because I was working a regular 9 to 5, I figured out what could I do that could turn this into actual money. Back in the MySpace days when it first started, people wasn't doing photo shoots and everything like that. I started taking some of the chicks that I was dealing with and I started, you know, doing photographs of them. And that shit just took off. So I had a whole bunch of model-less women that I dealt with or did business with. So niggas, when they would have music videos, they would come to me when they needed girls.
No doubt.
So that would kind of be my introduction to the rappers. Like, yo, Dev, I need girls for my video. Can you help me? And I'll come slide through with the chicks.
No doubt. So your value in that department is what gave birth to your relationship.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, and just having a facility, because you've been downstairs.
Yeah.
So I own the studio, pretty much the premier studio in this area of South Jersey, me and my partner, Don Michael Jr. So everybody record here. So you're bound to see anybody recording here. And we've been here since 2008, you know, in this location. Before that, we was in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, starting in 2004.
No doubt. So the creation of the show, it was always $1 million worth of game. Mm-hmm. And it started here in this facility.
Yeah.
What year was that?
Shit, what was that, 2000, was that 19? I guess it was 19.
Creatively, what hand did you have in the $1 million worth of game franchise?
I mean, from the very beginning, you know what I'm saying? Like when we first started the joint, there was no, $1 million worth of game was something that he was doing, you know, in his room with his wife. You know, he had a crazy following online. So he would do like a advice segment, you know? So it was kind of like a 1 minute advice segment. What my job is to turn something into a show.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we talking about the whole thing, from
production,
building the room, production, yeah, like, you know, hammer and nails, making shit, the design work, the drawings you see in the background, everything, sound. But for me, as you can see, you know, even with my show, what people don't know, all this shit me. Like I'm the one filming it. I'm the nigga hosting it. And I'm not really a host. I'm a behind the scenes dude. That's all I am. I'm a production guy. But once COVID came, I wanted to produce something. Nobody was coming out the house because it was a big scare with all the COVID shit. So it just got to the point where it was like, look, I gotta make something. I gotta be producing something. I'm a producer.
Right.
I'll just jump in the seat to do that, but that's not really my thing, man. I ain't nobody, bro. I'm just an artist that makes shit, bro.
So in front of the camera, Devin Wade was forced into the driver's seat during the COVID-19 situation.
I'm just like you, bro. I know at the end of the day, you really a producer, man. It's like if you're a movie director, but I need something to direct. So I say, yo, right now, let me just jump in that seat and do that. But that's not really what I do. And honestly, Porter Rich, who's my homie, like one of my best friends, I've been trying to get him to do a podcast for a long time. He was like, nah, I don't know, Dev, I don't want to fuck with the podcast shit. And I basically tricked him into doing it by saying, look, I'm going to do a podcast, and you going to be the co-host, because I know he's not going to say no to me. That's my nigga. So that's how that came about.
Okay. How long did you spend, how much time did the millions of dollars worth of games show?
Mm-hmm.
How long did the production take place in this facility?
So we was here probably like 9 months, something like that. You know what I mean? Probably like 9 months.
Relationship with Gilly, before we get off into this,